Hello everybody, welcome back to Football Club Barcelona. As you can see, we are absolutely destroying the league. It's been very, very easy and simple so far. I don't think there's any trouble whatsoever unless we're in the league. 55 points, nearest team has 42, and it's not even Real Madrid. So, 77 goals scored, halfway point, 8 against, 18 wins, 1 draw, undefeated. I don't think there's an issue here, personally, at all. So, you'll understand why I didn't want to do any league games this season, because it's just a bit of a waste of time, really. So we're going to come back for today in the Super Cup semi-final. The main reason for that is that we've not actually won this yet, I don't think, and it'd be good to see us win a cup, and then we'll basically try and get Champions League and Spanish Cup games in as we go. I don't even think we're going to bother with this in the Champions League. Is there any point? I don't think so. So it'll be 2 games today in the Super Cup semi-final, then the final if we get there. I think I said this last year and we didn't get there, so that's what we'll do if we get through. And then after this episode, it'll be the quarterfinal, whoever we get in that, and we'll definitely be getting through to the quarterfinal. And yeah, I guess we'll do Champions League all the way through and a bit of Spanish Cup. I mean, I think everybody's pretty much in agreement with that. I was going to stream this, but I just played through it in the end. I was going to play through some games and then stream some, but I just got all the way through in the end, so that is what it is. So yeah, we're going to go through the teams today then, and Erling Haaland has scored 26 goals. Yeah, talk about some of the games though. Generally, we've played really well. Most games we've scored, at least one absolutely world-class Barcelona-esque goal. Possession is pretty high, 63. It's not as high as it could be, but I think the fact of the matter is, when you're scoring 4 and 5s and 6 and 7s in games on a consistent basis, the other team are starting with the ball an extra few times per game, and that makes a big difference when possession's calculated on time on ball, which it is in FM, which is different to real life. So yeah, if you're going to calculate possession in that way, they're basically getting all those extra passages of play where they then start on the ball and they get to stay on it, pass the ball, hold on to it for a few seconds. So that's going to eat into the possession, probably by a couple of percentage points each game, which is pretty much what we've seen. I think if we weren't scoring as many goals, it was a bit more realistic. We probably would be around that 65%, which would be pretty good, and our pass completion probably would be higher as well. Passes completed overall anyway. Celta Vigo obviously dominate their 4-4-2 passing football that they do every year. I don't know what's going on with them, but they did it again this season, and they're doing pretty well, I think, actually, because we beat them recently. And yeah, the top 4 again, so fair play to them. Yeah, goal scorers, the main threat is our Messi, Erling Haaland now. He scored 26. Some of those have been penalties, but not a lot. I mean, look at average ratings. You got all the 7s, and that just stands out. 8.69. He's our Messi, and he has been absolutely brilliant. So I was going to change names of the players so you can see what I mean. If you forget this Erling Haaland and you see the players play the positions, you start to see the football in like a slightly different light. So I don't know, I still might do that yet. So Real Madrid then at a neutral venue with us banging form. Let's make that change though there. Nothing's changed. I mean, somebody asked to see the budgets and the wages in the last video that I uploaded, and yeah, so we are 300 grand below our wage budget. We still have 30 million to spend, so we're doing pretty well. Nearly 100 million in the bank balance. We've lost 100 million this season because we had nearly 200 at the start. So obviously we're losing quite a lot of money per month, which isn't great, but we're still going to be in the positive towards the end. Then at the end of the season, you get your influx of money anyway. So we're pretty good financially, actually, even still now. And so we're very good. How much overall is it completely? Let's have a look. We're currently spending 5.2 million a week on wages. We just renewed some contracts. It's quite big, but 300 grand still to go. So we're doing pretty good. This is the team, pretty much the first team for this game, except for the striker. Let's see how we do. And it just says the media comments, and we're going to be underway. First highlight of the game here. Colours up to his head away. Pedro Porro is going to get to it. Dribbles it, plays it Declan Rice, who shoots, and what a finish from our Sergio Busquets. 1-0 to Barca. Let's look at this again. Headed away, and he gets onto it. Does Pedro Porro sees Declan Rice wanting the ball. He's not got a lot of space there. Takes one touch. Have one of those. 1-0. I like it. Erling Haaland plays it straight through to Alexander Isak, who shoots, and it's 2-0 to Barca. Quite a direct goal, that one. It went from the back, up to the side and to the front. It was quite a set piece, actually. Straight through to our Messi. Messi straight through to our Samila 2. Says, thank you very much. I will slot this in. 2-0. Absolutely battering them on possession, except the goals is relatively low, but we took the 2. I mean, that chance from Alexander Isak was pretty simple, wasn't it? It was a 1v1, right on the edge of it being a completely clear opportunity to score. So I don't know why it wasn't more of a higher rating for XG, to be honest with you. Pedro Porro has it on the right hand side. Back to De Jong, to Declan Rice to Skriniar. We're staying on it pretty good here. Erling Haaland's a 2. Oh, it's just magical, and it wasn't a good finish, though. After, let's say, I'm happy so far. Take off De Jong and put on Gavi. Take off Kylian Mbappe as well. I'm going to throw on Ansu Fati. As the highlight is started here, they're going to play out through our team. No chance. Samuel Eto'o plays it across to our Henry with Kylian Mbappe, plays it across to Gaia. Good, stay on the ball, don't give it away. And it might be a penalty here. Didn't really see what happened. Mbappe was trying to move. He did like a cornerback pass interference sort of thing here. Yeah, penalty. As the change is made, Erling Haaland, if he scores, I'm going to take him off. Get his rest in. Yep, well done, Erling. Get yourself off the pitch, mate. And we'll put on Madueke. And that was it. The last highlight was the penalty. It finished 3-0 to Barcelona. Let's say well done, lads. Let's see what we get in the final now. Okay, so Celta Vigo, the 4-4-2 team that love to keep the ball. They get through against Sevilla, so we'll play them in 3 days. I'll see you then. Celta Vigo again now. It's going to be the same team, but Lautaro Martinez will come back in and will play as a striker. And Alexander Isaac goes to the bench. Right then, cup final. Assistant manager says, show really that you were born winners. We're going to play out from the back here are Celta Vigo. They play it around, then they ping it clear. Pedro Porro gets to, oh dear, they got to the second ball though. They're going to stay on it, and we win it back off them again. Pedro Porro, De Jong plays it across into Pedro. Pedro through, 1-0 bar. So as you can see, we are pretty much unstoppable going forwards off them. As soon as we went off them, we had a chance here. I mean, if he doesn't play hard enough the striker, and you've always got the run from our Iniesta here, who gets through and finishes well to make it to 1. I think it's because the inverted winger stays a bit deeper at times, but still wide, that it then reads it as if the central fielder attack, or the Mazzala attack rather, is the one that's then making the runs and is the threat and gets the ball a lot in behind, which is good. Mbappe plays into Lautaro, 2-0 Barca, probably game over. There's so many goals that I could have shown you that were just magical during the season. A couple of them weren't as good, but like, this is pretty good here. Iniesta comes in to get the ball, plays it across to our Henry, through to Samuel Eto'o, just perfect, isn't it? Love it, 2-0. Possession though, they've got more because they stay on the ball for too long when they play out from the back, I guess, or when they take kickoffs and stuff. Okay, we forced it to go long. We're going to let them have it, apparently. No, Skriniar gets it good. Yeah, they may end up having like 51% possession in this game, but they might concede about 10 goals. Mbappe to Pedri. Pedri to Gaia. Gaia to Mbappe. Looks pretty good, doesn't it, over hit this side. That is not what we like to see, but it's Messi. To our Xavi, to our Messi. Unstoppable this team is. Wow, I shouldn't say that, because we have been stopped before in the Champions League, and we might get stopped again. I already see myself replaying that in a future video. Why did I say unstoppable? Borrow and Skriniar are going to retain the ball here, and Hubbard the attack, and we get through again, and, wow, we're just taking the piss now, aren't we, Lautaro? Here's Skriniar and to Pedro. We're going to stun the ball on the right-hand side. I put the tempo up by 1 notch, by the way, because this game could be over pretty soon, and Roger scores, make it 3-1. When I say put the tempo up, I mean the actual game tempo, not the tactics. That's why it looked quicker at that time. One hand on the cup, let's go. Pedri off, Musiala on. Young off, Gavi on. Pedro throws into Declan Rice, across to Haaland, and it's Declan Rice, Pedro, Gavi to back Declan Rice, Erling Haaland, Alexander Isaac, Erling Haaland. That should have been a goal. There we have it, a 3-1 victory for Barcelona. No ceremony because we're in 2D, I think, is the problem. Okay, remind me in the comment section, please, that when we do another, if we get to the Champions League final, we must play it in 3D because I want to see the ceremony if we win it. Lot of if, buts and maybes, but I want to see that because that's why we've not seen it just here. That's a shame. Yeah, we deserve to see that. Congratulations, well done, boys. It's a shame, yeah, we didn't get to see the little ceremony. Even like a little 2D one would have been nice there, I guess. Right, when the Super Cup Goods finally got a cup. I don't know if that's the first cup we've won. Well, you're not going to believe this, or you might if you actually were following it closer than I was. But we haven't won a cup yet. That was our first trophy, like cup trophy, not the league title. That was our first cup. We haven't won the Spanish Cup or even the Spanish Super Cup in the first 2 seasons. That's incredible. I didn't even notice that. Obviously very aware we didn't win the Champions League, but wow, okay. So there you go. Congratulations, boys. You're now cup winners as well as you are league winners. Fantastic stuff. So next episode then, I mean, it's not even on the cards. We don't know where it's going to be. It's going to be wherever the quarterfinal gets slotted in, and it's going to be whoever that's against, because we're going to definitely win this against these teams here, and we could still be undefeated, you know, going into that point, because we've not really been in danger at all. That's the only game that we drew was the game you saw on camera. Every other game we've won, and you see a lot of 4s and 6s and stuff there, so it's been pretty good so far. This is how the league stats currently look. I know some of you would have seen it a second ago when I showed the possession. If we look at things like, I don't know, expected goals for, 61, we've currently got 70-something, so we're way ahead on that. We have scored 10 penalties, or scored 9, took 10. Goals from corners, we only got 4, we're third in the league table for that. Expected goals against, 7.55, that is just sensational. That word doesn't get used too often, does it, anymore on Foot Manager? Sensational, it used to be one of the team talks you could do. The like, you had well done was like the positive one, then sensational was like the one where you went over the top, like Foot Manager 2007, that sort of era, I think. It was always sensational was the one where if you won by a couple of goals, you'd have the option to say it. It was always a good one. So yeah, that's where we're at in terms of that. We have only the second biggest wages, which is incredible considering we spend quite a lot. So Madrid have got a ridiculous That wages being spent there. Net transfer spend, we're only second for that. We're behind Madrid. Sevilla finally spent money this season, apparently. I didn't even check this, but we know that they've done really well without spending any money. They've got Bakayoko, Manolas, and Son. Done pretty well there, I guess, with their couple of signs. But it's not really worked out for them in the league table. They are slightly worse this year, but nobody's as good as us. Like, the next nearest team has scored 33 goals. We've scored 77, way over double what they've scored. That is incredible. It's one of the best seasons I think I've seen, considering we have bought world-class players, don't get me wrong, but it's not like we've done like 40-month transfers with 50% of the next sale on every single player and not cared about the club. We've been pretty good with how we've structured transfers and how we've built the club. So we've actually been pretty like realistic, like to a point, with our transfers. And we've still ended up being this good, which is a testament to how good Pedri is, I think, and players like him. Although he's not quite getting as good as I'd like, but we'll see. Garcia's developing really well. He's actually got pretty quick as well, which I haven't really seen him get that fast before, so that's good. Pedro Porro's world class. Decky Rice has not changed at all. He's already pretty good. If he could get his agility up by 1 and dribbling it by 1, I'd be happier, but he's brilliant. Erling Haaland looks like that. He is just world class, keeps scoring, and he's just unstoppable as a right-sided player. Even for Norway, he's got more goals than games. Mbappe has just looked pretty solid as a left-sided player. And Lautaro Martinez has been a very good upgrade at striker that rarely misses one-on-ones, much better than Alexander Isak in this save. I've always had him. He's always really good for me, Alexander Isak, but this year he's not required. We've already got a striker that we can use that's better than him, so it's just rare that ever happens in a save of mine. Nico's gotten quite good, actually. His passing conversion's got to 17, which is really good. He can just work on his dribbling now to get up a little bit. If this was like a long-term save, I think I'd use him as a first choice next season, because if he's sort of improving where I'm asking him to improve, so he gets a little bit better mentally, he could be really good, and dribbling. This Gavi looks really good, doesn't he? Pace, accelerations, good dribbling, passing vision, he's got everything. What a player. Really hard to choose between him and De Jong and Pedri and etc. for the midfield roles. I think that's going to do it. That's the episode. We're going to come back then in a future game that we don't know what that's going to be yet or who it's against, but that's what we'll come back for. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this season finishes. We were all sort of like waiting for that, aren't we? Like, the only reason I did this now was because you wanted to see how it was going, I guess. You wanted to see like an update, at least a little bit of what's been going on going into this point, but you could see we're well on track to do well. A long-term injury could screw us, but apart from that, we should be okay. And it'd be interesting to see where it ends up. But we're cruising the league. We've won a trophy. We're still in the cup. And we'll see if we can add some European success to that. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.